Hello and welcome to What the Hey, where I'm your regular host of What the Hey, and today on What the Hey, I'm once again answering yet another question. When I go to my notebook of knowledge, I see the question of, who the hey is Eevee? Now this question was asked by Mr. 2007, so hello to you and thank you very much for the question. In terms of a very basic description, Eevee is one out of many different creatures within the Pokemon world. Specifically, the Pokemon of Eevee is pretty notable, mainly because it can change appearance and power, which I'll talk about more later. Now, the original designer for the character of Eevee was created by a man named Mr. Fujiwara, so thank you to you for creating probably one of the most recognizable Pokemon. I don't know why this didn't click with me until now, but I'm sure there's multiple designers for each of the Pokemon, not just one person doing it all, but still cool to actually learn who the people are. Now, the first actual feature of Eevee was included in Pokemon Red and Blue, so some of the older games, and then Eevee didn't actually appear in the show and the anime until later. So the actual concept and design for Eevee was essentially based off of like a very fluffy cat and dog, which I think that's really fun. I've kind of mentioned it before, but I personally enjoy seeing the Pokemon that kind of resemble more actual like animals instead of just completely random things, so that makes sense. The overall appearance of the basic Eevee is really big ears, brown fur, brown eyes, pink paw pads, which is a very specific thing to list, but that's that. They also have this very noticeable kind of collar of cream colored fur, so that's another way to recognize it. According to general and legit information, the Eevee's body is really useful because it can help it to evolve really easily for someone, for whatever reason, the Eevee's super weird because, its genetic code or whatever is not correct, which kind of goes into the next thing. So Eevee, as I mentioned earlier, has this very interesting characteristic with it to where it has a lot of what are considered evolutions, which there are 8 different evolutions and they all look different and they have different powers, and I personally have a few favorites. There's Vaporeon, Jolteon, Flareon, Espeon, Umbreon, Leafeon, Glaceon, and Sylveon. I think I said all of those correctly, maybe not. My favorite would probably be either Flareon or Umbreon. They just look cool. I don't know. I like the whole idea with the whole elemental thing, and it's the Eevee kind of basically turns into its surroundings environmental wise, which is cool. The number for Eevee is 133. I don't even know how people keep track of that, but that's that. Overall, Eevee is pretty prevalent throughout the entire franchise, whether that be through the games, the anime, merchandise, or movies like Detective Pikachu. It's kind of funny because according to the game information, if you want to find Eevee, it actually may be hard because although Eevee is technically everywhere, very abundant, it can adapt to its surroundings, so it actually may be hard to find in-game. There's actually a specific game for Eevee called Let's Go Eevee, which is actually technically just a remake of Pokemon Yellow, but it's kind of cool that it has its actual own official game title. In terms of my general opinion, like I kind of said earlier, I feel like Eevee is a very recognizable Pokemon. Of course, there's really powerful ones, and obviously, depending on what evolution you're talking about, those can also be very powerful, but I feel like if you're oh, what is this, to some random person, they may say it's Pikachu, but maybe they'll also say it's Eevee. Maybe. I would say that it's definitely one of the cuter Pokemon. It's very simplistic and you're oh, that could be a real animal, which apparently to the lore, the person who designed it saw a real life animal out somewhere and they based the design of Eevee on that. So it could be kind of a legit thing. I don't know. But that's essentially the answer to the question. So if you have any questions, let me know and I'll get to answering them as soon as I can. So thank you very much for watching. Bye.